Hey, welcome to Greenlight. So today we're talking about some special features that came out in these new Blu-ray DVDs. As you can see, I'm not in my normal setup. I'm in between Airbnbs right now, landing a new place to call home. We're trying to find a perfect apartment, more or less, and we're kind of using this time to have a mini vacation. So there might be a music video dropping from this at one point or another, we'll see. So with that being said, we have 3 movies coming out. One is Aquaman, 2 is If Beale Street Can Talk, and the second one is Second Act. Third one is Second Act. I was thinking Second Act already. So the other thing is there's a 4th. I have a retraction from last episode of Spider-Man Spider-Verse. I had mentioned something about how... Well, I'm sure you could hear my friend in the background because I'm using the audio from here, and you guys are used to me having my microphone and my normal setup. So I apologize for that offhand, so you're aware. I have some people napping, including my son as well is napping, so I'm trying to knock out this episode real quick. So I do appreciate you guys sticking with me, but I do have a retraction from last week. Excuse me. And the retraction is about making ofs for Spider-Man Spider-Verse. And I knew there was one out there, but I wasn't sure if it was real or not, and I didn't want to show it on this episode if it was fake. So just understand, and I hope you guys continue watching, because I'm trying not to give you guys fake, looking art. There's a lot of art out there that's created for like things like bootlegs and stuff like that. So I'm trying not to have them appear on my show. I want everything to be as legitimate as possible. So let's move it on, and we can start with my intro. All right. So the first one we're going to talk about here is, we'll just go down this list here. We have Second Act. So this is the back of Second Act. So I'm going to show you the front of it. So this is the Blu-ray and DVD. They have some special features, which is pretty cool. Right here. Which I'm slightly surprised of sometimes, comedies don't usually have them, but they always have something a little like kind of a showy type of documentary. It's not really like tutorial type or anything like that. So as you can see, we have connecting with Milo Ventimiglia. I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, so I'm not going to. I'm sorry, guys. The Empowering of Women of Second Act, documentary about the women Second Act, and friendship on and off screen. That's pretty cool. So I'm sure they're going to be talking about Jennifer Lopez and Vanessa Hudgens' probably relationship off screen as well as on screen, and everybody else, of course, in the crew. Let's see, Working with the Ones You Love, and Second Act trailer. So that's pretty good. Each one will probably run 15 to 20 minutes long, so they'll have a good amount of behind the scenes clips. I'm not expecting a lot of like tutorial based type of things where they give you pointers or anything on filmmaking. So I wouldn't expect too much of that in here. It's a lot more like fluff type of commercial stuff, but it's all good, well-rounded material. Within that, just knowing the basics and looking at the set and seeing everybody, you'll start to understand a little bit more. So let's see here, move on here. So we have the next one we have today is if Beale Street Can Talk. I seriously want to see this movie. Me and my wife have been talking about this here. Well, actually this cover is really nice, so I'm just gonna put it like this. There we go. Yeah, I like that with the city in between, in them and all that, like inside each one. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's simple. Sometimes like simple stuff like are the best. Says a lot in this image. So let's see the back of this because they have special features. The special features here that I'm going to show you are the back of the back of the DVD. This is something that, you know, I'm used to seeing a lot before Blu-rays, is this section on the bottom here. You see it says language and audio. I'm used to seeing the Spanish part, and I'm always looking for, you know, Spanish subtitles or just Spanish audio. So it's kind of cool because I usually do that for my grandparents, so I can include them in the movies we watch, especially when they're good films, much like this one. So this one has special features. I'm expecting them, basically two things here, because these are special features off the DVD. It says the making of. Now the making of could just be 20-30 minutes. It could almost be close to an hour, but you know what I mean close to an hour, I mean like 40-45 minutes type of thing. The thing is that my theory is that when you buy this DVD, because I haven't bought it yet, right now it's currently out for sale. I haven't picked it up. If you guys enjoy the stuff we're doing and really and are looking for this channel to grow, and you would want me to have some type of unboxing here, I can do that. I could facilitate that here. I'm a big fan of collecting DVDs. I'm sure if you've seen any episodes before, you could see that I have a bunch of collections of DVDs that I talk about, like things you could learn from each of their making ofs, and I show clips of that and show things from like famous movies from like Alien 3 to King Kong. So please check it out, and I'll have some links up here in the cards that'll show up, and then there'll be some at the end as well, so you can grab one there and just click on it right before you go off to another filmmaking episode of mine. Okay, with a DVD version of Skyfall, and then I later on bought a Blu-ray version of it, and the making of was longer. So the making of, and because they're both 20th Century Fox, and some, well, actually there was Sony and MGM for but their distribution for the DVD company was 20th Century Fox. That's the funny part here, that their distribution company was 20th Century Fox, but it was Sony MGM. It was Sony MGM film. That's kind of weird. So they have the same model as this one, which this is also a 20th Century Fox film. Okay, they have a gag reel, deleted scenes, right? The thing is that this thing, the making of, could be a little longer. And when I had the Skyfall Blu-ray, it was just, it felt a little longer. They also did something like that, which was Universal Pictures distributed movie, but it wasn't produced by them. Ex Machina, and Ex Machina had a shorter documentary on the DVD, and there was then a longer one that I saw that was in the Blu-ray. So please check that out. If you like that, kind of like that, they do that in a way. At least you get some type of features on the DVD. That's always good. So they also have commentary. Commentary, you can learn a lot. especially, okay, so you got Barry Jenkins, and he directed Moonlight, Oscar-winning director. He's probably going to give you a lot of pointers throughout the film, mostly on the acting. Directors usually focus on acting a lot, but he could teach you some behind-the-scenes stuff with that too. Maybe dealing with actors while you have big sets and camera gear and a big crew to deal with as well, and being able to balance the two. Okay, you can hear me rocking in this chair here. This place is nice and comfortable. So, let's see, the next thing is, which brings us to the big one here. What we got here is let's see here. Oh, well, we got basically we got Aquaman. So two things here. So I have this. I'm going to show you this Aquaman one, and shout outs to Ryan_collects on Instagram. He collects Blu-rays and DVDs and shows. He actually takes a picture of the back, the inside, and all of it. And I commend this guy for doing so, because there's not a lot of images of the back of the DVDs and Blu-rays, unless I go into the stores, obviously, and there's a lot of Blu-ray people doing that right now on YouTube. It's not something I do. I talk about the making ofs that are on there, and I tell you what to expect, most likely from that, with my experience. Let's see here. So sometimes when I get information, a lot of times the information is basically you know, like a picture from overseas. So this is not from our region, right? This is from our region, what I'm showing you here, but the one I'm about to change to right now isn't from our region. So because it isn't from our region, I just wanted you guys to make sure, I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware that it's region 12, and that you know, the information is still correct. But this is a higher res image, so I'm trying to I want you guys to see the back of it and see what we got in special features here. So on the Blu-ray, automatically we have exclusive sneak peek of Shazam. That's something they're really like trying to push on this Blu-ray, because it's their biggest summer movie. It's starting off the summer this year. So, and then the next thing we have is going deep into the world of Aquaman. Explore the making of the Aquaman movie. Whenever they give like huge titles like this, I'm going to tell you what, this thing is about to be an hour or so. This could be 45 minutes to an hour. It could push over that. The problem is this could be unexpected. This could be an hour and 30-minute documentary. But because there's multiple versions of these, I'm expecting them to each be 40, like maybe 35 to 45 minutes each. Almost an hour, if anything. You know, so expect that. Okay. Alright, we have Becoming Aquaman. Enter the world of Jason Momoa. So Jason Momoa is basically going to talk about his role and how he treats the character of Aquaman. So that's a good one for actors. I love watching it myself, just because at the end of the day, like, how else do you speak to actors if you don't know what they know? As a director, you must know everybody's job as well as they do, so you have the right respect for it. Okay, next thing is Dark Depths of Black Mania. Or Black Manta, sorry, it's a little blurry. Discover the history of Aquaman's Deadfest foe and more. So as you can see, there's going to be more documentaries of these. That's why I mentioned about the 35 to 40 minutes. it could happen that one of these could be an hour, but I'm sure they're going to give it a good length. They're going to give you a lot here. This is one of their biggest earners, and whenever a Hollywood flick does it like this, usually they'll give a bunch of features to give a lot away. Like there's a bunch of like cases and stuff like that for, whatchamacallit, you know, like the bookcase and everything. So there's that. One other thing I didn't get to bring in here that I'm trying to bring in. Let's see here. I believe. Yeah. And that's it. I'm not going to give the cover for Aquaman. I guess you'll see the many covers of Aquaman anyways. But these are the special features of the Blu-ray disc. Most likely will definitely be on the 4K. And as well as like maybe less features, or maybe just one of these features will be on the DVD. But I'm not really sure. They probably won't give you anything on the DVD just to make you get the Blu-ray. So with that being said, I'm going to move on over here because I had Retraction last week. And basically what I mean about Retraction is that I had mentioned something and I wasn't really too sure of it. But when I saw this guy, Ryan Collects, he put the back of his 4K Blu-ray edition of Spider-Verse, I knew that I was right. I saw one and it looked exactly like this, the same back, everything had the same information. And I screwed up and I didn't get that and put it on our show. Basically, I wasn't sure if it was real. I'm going to pull it up here so you can see what I'm talking about. I wasn't even sure if it was real for you guys. I wanted it to be as real as possible. I didn't want to give you fake information with everything that's going on in this freaking world. But this is, which region is this? I don't see it exactly. But basically, like, this is it. You see, I think this is England, actually, because it's got that triangle with the PG here. I think that's England. Like Europe or something. Yeah. Let me know in the comments, please, if I'm right or wrong about this. But since we're back here, I'm going to give you a talk about the behind the scenes real quick with this one as well. So we're back here, and you see we got alternate universe mode. I'll show you guys in this episode when it happens, too, because I would love to cover the way they animated the 2D on top of a 3D image, especially lately for myself. And a friend of mine, Brandon, which you've met, and we've been looking at Blender and just talking about it and everything like that, discussing what we can do with sound and how much we can push the Blender program with every project we do. Let's see here. Okay, so we have the alternate universe mode is basically we're discovering alternate scenes, plot lines, characters, and more, with the filmmakers as your guide. Basically, the filmmakers are your guide in between every new thing they're adding to the film, new part of the experience that you didn't experience in the theaters. So then we have another one, and We Are Spider-Man, which is most likely a little documentary about how Spider-Man could be a symbol of how we are all united, and I love that idea. Like, I love characters that can do that. A lot of superheroes, they try to do this with the superhero genre a lot nowadays. With that being said, Spider-Man in the comic books and stuff like that, they started a whole universe. So we had many versions of Spider-Man, which is cool because that was already something that was established with the whole Avengers and everything, and they've never really updated the Spider-Man universe like this. So it was a much needed update for a long, long time. And then moving on, next thing is Spider-Verse, A New Dimension. I don't know if this Spider-Man, this Spider-Verse, A New Dimension, it looks like it's all one thing, designing cinematic comics characters. Okay. So basically, they're going to talk about how they put a 2D feel on top of a 3D image. This movie is not exactly the first movie to do this. There was another movie before this that had that kind of feel, and it was called the Peanuts movie, and it was about Charlie Brown and Snoopy. My son calls this Snoopy movie. So it had that kind of vibe, but it was like a little too much 2D. Like he wasn't into it right away. Over time he got into it, he started to realize it was, 3D. So then moving on, there's also, it says also includes a tribute to Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. Wow. The Ultimate Comics cast. So that one, so already with those two, that first one we're going to be talking about Stan Lee, obviously. And I'm sure that's hard for a lot of people out there right now. But that's something that's, didn't happen too long ago where he passed away. So I'm sure they're going to be talking about that here. I'm sure you've seen the YouTube videos and probably other documentaries and stuff like that are on the New Avengers Blu-ray. But we never covered that in this episode, so I apologize. I'm not sure if it is on there or not. And then the next thing is obviously the Ultimate Comics cast. Like I told you, they're going to go over probably the whole cast of characters that are in this movie. The Spider-Verse Superfan Easter Egg Challenge. So I guess it could be either a little game or it's something that they're pointing out all the Easter eggs probably within the film for Spider-Man fans. So expect that as well. And then let's see, lyric videos. Oh, okay. And then filmmaker commentary. So lyric videos are basically just like they're gonna put probably the Sunflower music video and maybe one more music video, a couple more music videos, but with lyrics from the album. So, and then the next thing is filmmaker commentary. So it's all the filmmakers, mainly like the 2 or 3 directors that are on this, which happens more often than not. Yes, sir. Look at that. I'm going to fade this in. It's 3 directors. Okay? So we got 3 directors on this film, so they're probably all going to talk about this. That's why they said filmmaker commentary instead of director commentary. I think my friend Jovanni is like turning over. So thank you guys for joining me here. I really appreciate you guys taking this time and checking out this episode. If you could please hit the subscribe button down below when you get a chance. I'd really, really appreciate it. Let me know what you think of every episode we do and what you think of the Retraction. Please let me know down below in the comments. Let me know if you actually bought Aquaman, if Beale Street Can Talk, or Second Act. So that's probably a movie that I'm going to check out with my wife. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please, also in the description, there's a bunch of links to all of these movies. And when I mean all of these movies, there's a bunch of descriptions. And this will help us on this channel grow a lot more. I'll be able to even purchase these movies if you like. I'll even unbox them here while we go over the features. And it'll be that more extensive and that bigger of, I mean, it would be a bigger show. So links below. You can get your own Blu-rays, DVDs, or stream them. And also shout outs to the Instagrammer that I told you guys about. It's going to be in the link below. And I'll have also a link below for Spider-Verse as well as my Retraction. So I'll be seeing you guys here next week. I will see you soon. Later.